Hi, this is Darnell at Way Over Recipes, and this is my 30-day review of the Calphalon Air Fryer Toaster Oven. If you've not already seen my initial review of this cooker, be sure to check that out. That's where I do the test cooks, measurements, a whole lot of details about how the cooker works and how to use it. If you're looking for test cooks and things like that, that's the video you want to see. This is my 30-day follow-up where I talk about my experiences with the cooker and talk about how I feel about it in regards to some other cookers as well. So basically, generally speaking, this cooker, it's a pretty decent cooker, and I do have my notes here to make sure that I stay on point. And although it is a decent cooker, it does require preheat. So this cooker, it's got a lower bit of wattage than some other cookers. It needs a preheat to get going well. But if you do want to skip that preheat, you are able to press the start button while it's in that preheat mode, and it'll just start counting down on the timer if you just want to basically start counting down time. And I hope that maybe you've already seen my cook of a whole chicken in this cooker. It did a great job with that. I didn't have to cover that chicken at all, and it didn't really overcook that top at all. It didn't overcook it at all, while at the same time making the skin crisp. That is a very good thing. Few cookers that I've used are able to accomplish that. If you haven't seen that chicken cook video, be sure to check it out. Not many cookers, without covering them up, without changing the temperature or anything, able to take a chicken and cook it up like that real nice, not overcooking the top, while the skin on the outside is still got a nice crisp to it. The inside meat is moist. Just something noteworthy there. But on the downside, this cooker has no pause feature, so whenever you got to go in and make changes, or as far as moving food around and such, you got to do it while everything is still running. So that's just one that you have to deal with there. The door does have a decent bit of a seal on it on the inside, so that kind of helps keep that heat in. Does keep, not having as much of an issue having things in the front, not losing as much heat to get that nice gasket on the front there on the door. The user interface is fairly easy to use. It's pretty easy to figure out, and so you shouldn't have a problem there. And also with the user interface, if you have to make changes on the fly, that's super easy to do. So definitely like working with the cooker in those regards. And as far as the degree of hotness for this cooker, even though it is a lower wattage cooker compared to some others, it's not a super cool end of cooker type of cooker. It's basically kind of in the middle. It's not super hot as far as cooking things up, and it's not super cool as far as cooking things up either. It's kind of in the middle. It does a decent job. And I had no smoke issues with this cooker. I think with the seal on the door and such, it was able to hold things in pretty decent. So no real problems as long as you don't do anything that creates a real major smoke issue. You shouldn't have any problems. Now, you can't hold a 13-inch bake pan in this cooker. However, the pan that comes with the cooker is pretty nice, and it's very non-stick. Now I'm going to talk about the different features. I didn't use every single feature, but I'll talk about the ones that I did use. I think from those you'll be able to deduce, how the cooker does overall as far as its functions in cooking. With toast it does okay. It cooks the bottom more than the top though. And it takes a little longer than some other cookers for toast. Probably a couple minutes more for toast. It just seems like toast, it just doesn't get up to a real nice heating temperature quick. After a preheat, it does a great job as far as cooking, but for things that have to right away get hot like toast, it's a little behind. And like I said, it cooks things on the bottom a little more than the top when it comes to toast from my experiences. Bagel, I didn't use bagel. Bake, the bake function works well. It has the preheat with bake. Everything with bake turns out nice. No issues, no complaints at all with the bake. Does a good job with that. Air fry. Air fry works well. Does a good job with air frying. Roast works very well, like with cooking the whole chicken. Pretty amazing how it does with roast, how it's able to not overcook the top of things while still giving things a nice crisp outside, moist, real moist inside. no dried out meat at all. Great job on roast. Broil I didn't use, and neither pizza as well. I didn't use pizza either. Reheat works okay. I don't use a microwave, so everything I was reheating was being reheated in here. But reheat works okay, but since with reheat you're usually not trying to preheat before you reheat, it's like you probably want to turn things up probably another 50 degrees. I found myself turning things up about another 50 degrees than I would in other cookers to do reheats of things, and then it did okay. Keep warm works well, so it is able to keep warm well. Defrost, it works. You can defrost things in here. Dehydrate I didn't use, and so that's all of the different functions on the cooker. Usually for dehydrate, I usually, if I'm dehydrating, I might dehydrate a lot, so I might use a bigger cooker than this one, but I didn't do any dehydration. Now I'm going to talk about the noise level on this cooker. The noise level, it's very quiet, it's not loud at all, so very pleasant using this cooker as far as it compared to others. Now as far as cleaning the cooker, it's very easy to clean. Just use a warm soapy rag and wipe things off and such. As I said, the bake pan's very non-stick, but I'm going to show you inside the cooker. And you who have been watching this channel for a long time know I don't use any special concoctions, and I don't really care if things get stained inside. But as you can see, it's not really stained up in there inside. And let's see the drip pan. You see the drip pan still looks pretty decent. So easy cleaning, no problems. I don't use anything special, just regular old dish soap and water. So you should be able to keep things pretty clean. Now I'm going to talk about comparing this cooker to some other cookers, and I will say I'm only going to compare a few. If I don't compare it to one that you are interested in, you'll have to just look at the reviews for that here on the channel of that other cooker and how that turned out, and basically make your own decisions. I prefer that everyone make their own decisions. I don't like to be the one who makes the decision for anybody for your money. I'm just going to share with you some of my experiences and leave it right there. So, this Calphalon versus the Emeril Lagasse Power Air Fryer 360, and I'm going to talk about the non-XL and the XL version. I feel it's pretty much on par with the non-XL version. Pretty much. I mean, it does need a bit of a preheat, but the Emeril 360 line, it has a preheat for a lot of its functions as well. But the XL version of the Emeril 360, it is larger, it's able to hold a whole lot more. So basically, just on that alone, being able to hold more, the 360 XL wins over this cooker just because it's able to hold a lot more. Now, the Cuisinart digital air fryer toaster oven versus this cooker, this Calphalon. The Cuisinart definitely wins because the Cuisinart's able to cook faster, and it just has a whole lot more options. With the Cuisinart, I mean, you don't even really need a preheat. It can just knock stuff out. This cooker versus the Ninja Foodi dual heat air fry oven. Although the Ninja Foodi dual heat air fry oven is slimmer, it has a great little sear plate that can do searing and such, and you can be used as like a griddle. So it gives you a lot more options. The Ninja also cooks a lot hotter, goes to a hotter temp. So the Ninja wins in my opinion versus this cooker. Even though this Calphalon can hold a whole chicken, the Ninja is able to do things like cook up your pancakes. And so gives you a lot more versatility. And that sear plate's just really cool in it, Ninja. It's just real cool. So the Ninja wins in my opinion. Now, this Calphalon versus the Gourmet digital French door air fry oven. I'll say that the Calphalon holds heat better than the Gourmet, and I personally prefer the interface on this Calphalon. So, and also the Calphalon's better at managing smoke than the Gourmet for sure. So the Calphalon wins over the Gourmet in my opinion. And the last one I'm going to compare this Calphalon to is the Ninja Foodi XL Pro Air Fry Oven, which is the current champ here for me. And the Ninja is larger, cooks better overall, holds heat even better than the Calphalon. Well, holds heat better, It's just better overall. So the Ninja wins versus the Calphalon. The Ninja remains the champ for me personally as far as these air fryer, toaster oven type cookers are concerned. I will say as far as toast in this cooker, since it doesn't toast very spectacular, I was at times going over to my Ninja toaster, my Ninja Foodie toaster, and doing toast sometimes, just because the Ninja Foodie toaster is able to hold my large homemade bread and able to toast things really well. And plenty of cooks review and all that on this channel of the Ninja Foodie toaster. It's like the flip toaster, and the XL Pro air fryer oven, and the other cookers that I talked about. Reviews of all those here on this channel. Hundreds of videos here if you didn't know. But nothing on this video is sponsored. Nothing in any of my videos is sponsored. That helps me to give you independent personal opinions. And so in the video description, there are lots of ways to help the channel, such as my cookbook, referral link to my Amazon shop. You pay the same price, help the channel, donations, memberships, and such. And so with all of that said, if you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Share the video with a friend, leave your comments, subscribe, hit that notification icon, and good eating.